Welcome back, everybody. I hope you guys are having a fantastic Wednesday so far. So thankful you could join me on this beautiful Wednesday. I hope you're out there making the world a better place, becoming the best version of yourself, and ultimately getting the support from all of us as a whole to continue to make this world a better place. And I'm just going to freeform this one because this is something that is pretty important that's happening on the planet right now. And part of me is thankful that it's happening. And part of me is really sad that this is happening. And this has to do with everything revolving around Jeffrey Epstein, Ghislaine Maxwell, Wayfair, all of this stuff with this child trafficking stuff. This is something that it's a conversation I don't like to have, because when you start to think about the evil that is in this planet, you want to almost think that it's not real. You want to turn a blind eye to it and go, there's no way that this is happening. But I think over the past couple of weeks, we've really seen that there are some dark, sinister stuff, dark, sinister people, and just overall this evil in our planet right now. And it's something that, for me, I kind of knew that stuff like this was going on. But again, I didn't want to believe it. And what we're starting to see is there's been a series of events over the past couple of weeks where stuff is really starting to come to light, and the nightmares of what we have been picturing could be happening or thinking could be happening are starting to show themselves right now. And it's sad. If you guys, I'll dig a little bit into this, but I don't want to dig too much into the topic because I want to try to make this as positive as possible. But the latest thing going around right now is Wayfair. If you're not familiar with Wayfair, go to the website, wayfair.com. They sell furniture and, home furnishings, dressers, desks, tables, things like that. And lately they were called out for some cabinets that they were selling, that they would have two identical cabinets, and these were supposed to be like utility cabinets or whatever, two identical cabinets, and they were selling them at $2,000 difference for pricing. And the interesting part about this is that the names of their products are child's names or names of people who have been trafficked. And for me, I'm a little bit of a conspiracy theorist, but this one was really out there for me. It was tough for me to believe this one, but what I thought was interesting is that they revamped their website as soon as they got called out on it, and Snopes, within 24 hours of this conspiracy theory coming out, had already debunked it and said it's false. For me, that's hard to believe. Without doing any sort of evidence, without doing any sort of research, Snopes just comes out and says this isn't real. And then you start to look at the bigger picture of this thing. You start to look at the Ghislaine Maxwells and the fact that she's saying she's got, tapes of predominant political figures, and that she has been, let's just say, doing questionable things when it comes to trafficking these people. She's been doing a lot of questionable things, and she's going to have to face what's going on because of it. But then obviously with Jeffrey Epstein, and nobody really understood how that guy got his money, but he was known by a lot of super successful people. And there's just a lot of things that are starting to come out right now that make you think like this thing has been going on for a really long time. And when I first started studying success, one of the people I studied mentioned this. He mentioned that the old mantra is that 3% of the population earns 97% of the wealth. Now, 2 out of the 3% of that 2 out of the 3% of those elite class of people are evil people. These are people who don't want competition when it comes to money. They will make people disappear. They will make laws that benefit them. They will be co-conspirators in agendas around the planet. These are people who don't have the best interest of society in mind at all. And then you have the 1% of the 3% that's trying to make the world a better place, trying to bring change to the world, and trying to just be the light that this planet ultimately needs. And so I've known about this sort of sinister elite global agenda for a little bit of time, but for me, I've just kind of been that person that's like, I'm just going to be the light, and I'm going to inspire people around me to get better every single day, and I'm going to keep a blind eye. I'm going to turn a blind eye to what's going on right now, because I can't control what's going on, right? I can only control my situation, circumstances, and events in front of me. So I just focused on that. But now what we're starting to see is that there are a lot of bad things that have been going on in this planet for a really long time. And I'm glad that this stuff is happening right now, and this is going to freak people out when I say this, because I'm somebody who's extremely positive all the time. But I'm glad that we're seeing all of this right now, because the first step toward change is awareness. So obviously, if this is something that has been kind of out of sight, out of mind, and only been a conspiracy theory for a long time, and something that hasn't necessarily been proven, a lot of people haven't really been buying the realness of it. They've been thinking about this and going, yeah, there's no way that this is happening. There's no way that the people that have been in control of this country for a really long time would ever take part in this. And when situations like this occur, it shines light on an unfortunate circumstance. And the only way to change an unfortunate circumstance is to shine a light on it and be aware of it. That's why Black Lives Matter is so important right now, because we're shining a light on racism. We're shining a light on the idea of holding somebody back because of their race. And this is a very similar concept. We're shining a light on something that's been happening for a really long time, with a group of people who control this planet, and a group of people that feel like they're untouchable. And what's going to happen is we're going to keep getting more and more and more and more and more of this evidence coming out. We're going to get more and more things that, at face value, people are going to look at and go, how is this even possible? And the more digging that we do, the more we're going to find out that this has been going on for a really long time. And once we understand that and who's behind this, that's when we can make a change. But it's up to us. And this is where we need to keep our heads, we need to put our heads together, and we need to become level-headed. Because right now, there's a war going on. This war is between information. Information being, there's been a lot of things that have been kept from us for a very long time. From people who don't have our best interest in mind, to people who control the planet, to people who control the food system, to people that control our governments and our currencies and our housing system. They control all of it. And they've been controlling it for a really long time. And if we're able to come together, we're able to remain level-headed, and we're able to shine a spotlight on an unfortunate circumstance, what's going to happen is then we have the power to change it. But it's going to take all of us coming together to do so. And so what's happening right now is extremely unfortunate, because it's something that nobody wants to see. It's something that is scary. It's an evil. It is something that you would never expect a human being to be capable of. But I think we're starting to see that there are some sadistic stuff. There's some sadistic stuff going on in this world right now, and that's okay. That's okay, because once we shine a light on it, we can change it, and we can change it for the better. And once we do so, we're bringing in a new paradigm, and we're bringing in a new culture. And that new culture is not going to be based on separation. It's not going to be based on fear. It's not going to be based on lack of information. It's going to be based on unity. It's going to be based on love. And it's going to be based on a fact of, this is what everybody needs to know. This is the absolute truth. And that's something that's been hidden from us for a long time, is absolute truth. And so once we get through these darker times, there's going to be a light at the end of the tunnel. And when there's a light at the end of the tunnel, that's when we're in for some really big change. So buckle up. The next little bit period of time here is going to be kind of scary. There's going to be some things that come to light that none of us thought were possible, but at the end of the day, we're going to get through it. It's going to be glorious because we're going to shine a light on an unfortunate circumstance, and we're ultimately going to be able to change it for our ultimate benefit. Now we're really starting to live on a planet of unity and love and abundance and prosperity for all, and that's where we're going. So let me know what you guys think about this whole thing. Other than that, if you did like the video, give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button if you haven't. It's right there. Other than that, I want to thank you for tuning in to this week's video. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Peace.